Hello YouTube. What we're working on today here is some macro binoculars for a Captain Rex helmet for my son. So previously I kind of put this one together using the same parts, and then I accidentally broke the LED screen. So I ordered another one, and I'm just going to kind of go through the teardown of it and to get back up to this part, and then I'll continue on hopefully with the finished product. This is my first YouTube video, so I apologize if it's not perfect, but I'll try to do the best I can. Overall concept is, your macro binocular attached here. You can move it up and down. It's going to actually have real camera, video, and the IR night vision. And what I'm going to use here for the actual camera is this 36 megapixel night vision camera, digital night vision goggles setup. I previously purchased this on Amazon. It was like $29, and then they seem to have run out lately, so I ordered one on Amazon from a shipper, and I live up in Alaska, so it did take a while to get up here because they shipped it ground. But I'll go through the unboxing real quick and show you what we started with. All right, so this is it. All right. It's got an LED screen on there. It's got a micro SD card in there, and then it's got IR, and then day, video, still pictures, and it has a zoom feature on there, and it has a brightness level for your intensifier as well, which is the IR setup here. Okay, you remove these 4 screws, and I just took a small flathead, both sides here, by the lanyard mount, and it just pops off. Be careful because the battery is still attached to it. All right, and then what we're focusing on here is the screen portion. Okay, it pops right off. And then you will remove these 4 screws as well, and that will release the screen from the viewfinder. Okay, so I decided to keep the viewfinder bezel area attached to this one, and I might try to trim this foam and recess it back this way a little bit so that it looks a little bit more cleaner than just having the screen on there and making a foam bezel. But basically, you see I just cut the circuit board out. I took the battery, I lengthened the wires on the battery. We'll try to put that inside the helmet somewhere. If it's not too heavy, we'll put it back in here so it's one unit. All right, and as you can see, on the image side, I just trimmed the plastic piece where it all mounted in here. All right, there was no need to extend any of the ribbon cables for this one. All right, and then notice it has the micro port over here. It's still easy to get to, and the charger is still here. I'll just put Velcro something here so that we can take the little cover off later. And then here's what it looked like before. Again, just lengthened the battery, wires, and then I took off this front piece. I kind of trimmed it out to make it fit the best I could. It's not gonna look exactly like the macro binocular, but I'm gonna square that off in the front, put maybe a clear lens across there and see how that works with the IR illuminator, and then overall, it's going to be a little longer, but I don't think you will tell much in the end. All right, so let's start this thing. So here's the power button. All right, you get the no darkness. Okay, so I started up with the power button. All right, set in day mode. That's pretty simple. You do have a zoom feature, you do have a video still camera feature. We'll turn off the lights here and show you what the IR night vision is going to look like. Okay, I wasn't able to get it too dark in here, but I have tested this thing at night, and the range is pretty great on this small camera. There's different modes for the intensity of the illuminator. I think it goes up to 6 or 7, and then as you cycle through, it brings you back to off or back to this #1 setting, I believe. So this kind of looks like right before the finishing touches on there. I'll put some detail work in here, kind of replicate it the best I can. And I did end up keeping the viewfinder bezel piece in there. And then fold it up. Okay, so basically I kind of just cut everything out and mounted it to where you could get to the Type-C connector. And then lengthen a little bit of the wires. That kind of tucks in there. And then I ran some wire for the power source. And then I lengthened this ribbon cable here, so that I have a little bit more room to work with there. And I took the plastic piece from the binoculars, or goggles, and then I just traced it out. And I'm going to cut it, and hopefully the little buttons will push through. So for the final one, like I said earlier, this board was super long, so that it ended up sticking out super far. So I just trimmed it back, took off that, basically unscrewed the board, and then I placed it on top. I glued it on there, and then I just trimmed out the buttonholes, put a real thin piece of EVA foam on there. Works really good, but it shortened it up a whole lot. But to go over the ribbon cable, like a little tang on there, you pop it up, pull it out, and then just read the numbers off here. I went to Amazon, and I ended up actually having to lengthen this one a little bit. I ended up keeping the short one for the LCD screen. But I just went on there and I looked up AWM 2062480C FPC ribbon cable. All right, and there's a whole bunch on there, and I ordered a couple of the wrong ones to begin with. I just kind of counted the number of lines here for the pins, and then note that this is a 0.5 millimeter pitch. I ordered like a 1.0 millimeter pitch, which is huge to begin with. It was all super cheap, so it wasn't that much money. And then just kind of look up the length you need. But just note that on these cables, there's a little blue line here, all right, and then there's a blue line on this one, which is on the opposite side. Okay, so I found out that means it's type B. And type A, they would both be on the same side, and that would not work. So I did order a type A that was wrong, and then I ordered the 1.0 millimeter pitch that was wrong. I kind of Googled to begin with and tried to do some research, and it just wasn't a whole lot to be found. But Amazon did have a few links to this cable. I actually ordered some super long ones, and like I said, I want to kind of build this where this is attached to maybe a handheld device, like a weapon. You can move this around, and then it still stays in your visor, in the screen in your helmet or whatever. And I have one of those prototypes too, and it works pretty well. I'll post a video of that later if needed. But that's about it for that part. And then for mounting, I just took a screw and I glued it into this rangefinder mounting lug, basically. I took a rib nut and I glued that in there to the foam, and I just drilled a hole. And it's super easy. Just pop it through the hole. It just latches on, and then you tighten it up as needed. And then on the inside, just kind of trim down a little channel. Wire pops in there, and then for the show, we just put a little bit of duct tape over there. All right, glue the battery to the back. It's pretty good counterweight for him as well. And we just wrapped up all the wires. And for the final color scheme, just got online, looked up kind of what the accents look like on it. So cut out this EVA foam, put these two ridges on there, and then I just taped it off looking at what Captain Rex kind of had. And then just note that I glued this with contact cement, and then plastic dipped it all with gray, and then I just sprayed it with white spray paint, and then found it off with this blue line. And here's a better video of the IR night vision. Again, it's not super good on this phone, but in real time, it's actually pretty crystal clear. Just know to have a little bit of overspray on that front clear lens when I painted it. Kind of rushed it, but I'll wipe that down and it will be crystal clear.